Today we are diving into something that every composer faces sooner or later, and that is stagnation, or well, literally getting stuck. That moment when the ideas stop flowing and the inspiration fades and everything you write feels like mechanical or forced. But here's the thing, stagnation isn't just a creative problem. It's often a psychological one. And to overcome it, you must actively cultivate the optimal psychological state for creation, which let's call it creative flow. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Homing TV. This is the first episode of a series that I'm making for you guys, and it's all about helping you and also myself becoming more efficient and cool and better composers. That means making the best of the time that we have. So let's get back into it. This concept was introduced into psychology by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, a Hungarian-American psychologist best known for developing it. Flow describes a state of complete absorption in an activity where individuals feel fully engaged, energized, and naturally motivated. Csikszentmihalyi's research showed that people experience flow when their skills are perfectly matched to the challenges they face. Let's define this more clearly, because understanding what flow actually is can completely change how you compose. And also one important thing is that the concept of creative flow is not specifically created for art and can be adapted in many aspects of our daily life. But for this video, I've turned some of the key ideas into a set of tips and frameworks that you can directly relate to when composing music. Let's say you want to start a project. At any point in your project, have a clear goal and then define smaller tasks while composing. Let me give you some examples. You want to start a new composition for a string quartet. Before laying down even the first note, realize what you want to work on consciously. For example, you decide that your goal for today is to compose the main theme or melody of your piece. So that's already clear. Now we have our goal. And the second step is to break it into smaller tasks. For example, what feeling should this theme have? Should it be fast or slow? Which instrument will carry it? Is the range comfortable, or what color should it be? Is the melody fast, tonal, modal, atonal? Which mode or scale are you using? Should you explore maybe new scales, or is it just enough? What you know is enough. Are you aiming for something energetic or soft or fluid? And so all of these type of questions, and I know it sounds like a lot of questions, but guess what? All of them can be answered with a simple yes or no. And this simplicity helps your brain stay in the flow state, since the challenge is moderate but engaging. And since the results will give you a satisfaction and a sense of progression, you will be happy with what you get. And you'll actually do something instead of panicking and worrying about your deadline. But then imagine, instead of setting these goals and tasks and the mini tasks, you just start writing your melody and get stuck somewhere in the process. And we don't want that, because the broad goal of creating a beautiful melody has too many layers and it might overwhelm you. Then you might think you're untalented or uninspired, and you either give up or just get frustrated. So always remember, inspiration is made and it doesn't come out of thin air. Make clear goals and steps in everything you do when composing. The fun thing about creating moderate tasks is that you can immediately give simple, non-judgmental feedback. And at any moment you can revert back to any of your choices if you think it's not what you wanted. And compare this with putting in the time to write a whole melody or themes without having thoroughly thought about them. And naturally, rewriting whole melodies and rethinking the whole thing is going to take more time than to really prepare for them and make it simpler for ourselves. So we would actually go where we want to go and not just to shoot in the dark and get frustrated. Now let me tell you about another example, and that is getting stuck in the middle of writing a piece, which is super frustrating and it happens to everybody. So imagine you are working on an orchestral piece and you don't know how to continue. Well, instead of panicking, make the decision to create clear goals and smaller tasks to help you stay in the state of flow. So, for example, you have an idea that if you continue with your cellos, it might work and it might take your piece further. So, you can make the goal of continuing your piece with the cellos. And your smaller tasks might be to modify and write materials for the cello, or to take inspiration from other instruments or themes that are already written, research different cello materials from other composers, and then decide the range of the melody, decide the different colors that exist in the instrument. So what we do, we actually zoom in, and at this moment you have to switch between a micro level of composing, which is writing for a cello, and a macro level to give yourself feedback. For a macro level feedback is that, for example, how does it sit with the rest of the orchestra? How does it work in time with your piece? So you zoom in on the cello, the melody as a micro, you work on it, you go back to see how it sounds in the general picture of the piece. And it's important to focus only on the cellos. Don't jump to another thing. Don't fix engraving issues. Don't start writing for other instruments. Don't make it difficult for yourself. Keep it simple and manageable. And of course, these aren't strict rules, but they're actually guidelines. So feel free to break them or follow them or just get inspiration from them. You see how this perspective can simplify and completely change how you approach your work? Cool, right? Make sure to check out more of Csikszentmihalyi's work. It can be really helpful in your own life and also when composing and in general in every aspect of life. Before we continue, if you're still watching the video, it would really help me out if you click the like button and also subscribe. And if you're watching on your mobile phone, you can click on the hype button down there. It helps the video to get more exposure. So thank you so much. When a creative block occurs, it's usually because the task is either too simple, leading to boredom, or too complex, leading to anxiety and frustration. So try to balance your goal and task in around the sweet spot. One more important thing that flow does is help you let go of perfectionism, which in my humble opinion is the ultimate killer of creativity. When you are truly in flow, you're not worrying about whether what you're writing is good or bad. You're simply writing and creating music. Don't judge what you already wrote and what you have already. Let your brain be playful and let it do its thing, you know? And also in that moment, don't think about what your old teacher would have said. Don't judge yourself harshly. Don't think it's to this or to that. Instead, just give yourself constructive feedback, and most important, always ask yourselves, is this what I really want to write? If you get into the state of flow, creativity feels effortless, and it feels like the passing of time has been distorted, which is actually quite fun, and it's actually what happens all the time when you are enjoying something. You know, when you're having fun or watching a movie, time passes fast, right? But you must set the initial conditions required to maintain it. This brings forth the paradox of control. The more you try to control, the less you will actually have under control. And this leads to panic, stress, and anxiety. If you want a nice melody, you can't force it like an overbearing parent demanding productivity from their kids. You need to set the conditions so your creativity has space to flow and not to dig it out with a shovel. So you see the paradox? Control is not about micromanagement, not about judging, and not about obsessing over every note. It's about establishing the structural parameters that define the challenge. In other words, you're not controlling what happens next. You're controlling the environment that allows creation to happen. So, to sum it all up, if you're feeling creatively stuck, don't wait for inspiration to strike. Instead, engineer the conditions for flow. Once you do that, the sense of effort, that tension, that frustration, It will all dissolve, and in its place, you'll find pure engagement, music that unfolds effortlessly, and the rediscovery of why you fell in love with composing in the first place. And that was it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. There will be more content coming up similar to this video. And if this helped you think differently about creativity, give it a like and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or thoughts about flows and creative flows. And as always, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next video. Homayun out.